that lead you.
2 miles per hour, so everybody sees you.
Got the top let down, leaning to the right with the bass up loud. I slide, glide, choking on that lead you.
2 miles per hour, so everybody sees you.
You see the European grill, so the lips gliss. Tank full of Theraflu, cause I be in them sick whips. Brick slip, roll with me, catch a contact. High definition popping, flipping out the armrest. See, I'm a rider, dipping in the catalog. Just got it fitted on some shit I need a ladder for. Come up in your hood stunting when I leave, dude.
2 miles per hour, so everybody sees you.
I can't deny, I feel I'm such a fly guy. Top chop, call him Sleepy Hollow when they ride by. I know the haters can't stand it. I ain't got a blemish on my Jolly Rancher candy. Ride on, ride. Top let down, weaving through the crowd with the bass up loud. Just slide on the slab.
What up with it?
Take a bath before you put your ass
Anthony
on
Johnson in
seat.
the building. What's happening?
Got the top let down, leaning to the right with the bass up loud. I slide, glide, choking on that lead.
2 miles per hour, so everybody sees you.
Got the top let down, leaning to the right with the bass up loud. I slide, glide, choking on that lead.
2 miles per hour, so everybody sees you.
Yeah, I hope you got big lungs if you're rolling with me. I roll quickly, roll minute, plus I'm rolling sticky. Hit the road with me, only push it to the 50, cruising through your city, super sharp, fresh fitted. Hey, too cold with it. Check out the interior, it's hater meeting. Chalkboard material, get it, then fuck it. Hey, roll another blunt up, hit patchwork, roll and fuck with Nico till that sun's up. Hit like nunchucks, he can't stop that. A Lamborghini door
Swinging with tops big.
Hey, clear the way, clear the lane. I'm top
Devin Feels, what's
them
good
laws,
with
want
it?
no dogs in my cockpit. Plus I'm throwed off, ain't got my load off. Got my 4 elbows in the
man.
quota that no soft. Enough to
real
get me
though,
shook
man.
up, but now I got the cook up. And since they didn't book us, every time you look up, I'm
Man, we about to cook today. It's a lot. It's a lot that I want to cook on. You know, see who come up in here, see if they send these notifications out. And we definitely gonna cook. Ariana, salute. DeMonte Walker, what it do? Yeah. We gonna cook today. It's a lot I want to talk about. And shout out to that boy Richardson Hitchens, man. Came through and showed out. He came through and showed out. I ain't gonna lie. I was getting kind of nervous closer the fight came because hold on, let me turn this down a little bit. I was getting kind of nervous the closer and closer the fight came because, you know, the glove situation, and then Eddie Hearn came and he said that, you know, Africa was acting nervous. And so I'm like, oh, man, don't let him go out here and just, you know, basically, you know, man, just look bad, have a bad outing. But, man, after them first, like, I say like the first 4 rounds, man, Africa came out and he did his thing, man. He started letting that right hand go with the jab. His timing was impeccable, and he just broke Liam Paro down and just outboxed him. He just outboxed Liam Paro, and Liam Paro can box and Liam Paro can punch, but you know, Africa was too much for him. Africa was too much for him, man. And I kept telling people for years that Africa really wanted them ones. He wanted them ones. Now people saying that they want to see him and Devin Haney. Africa was asking for the Devin Haney fight for a while. You know what I'm saying? A while back he was calling out Devin, but that's a solid fight. That's a solid fight. It's a solid fight. I'm gonna keep it real. I like Devin Haney a little bit. I like Devin. I give the edge to Devin a little bit in that fight. Marine 263. I had to get an edge to Devin a little bit in that fight because I think Devin got more in his offensive bag. You know what I'm saying? I do think that Hitchens is better defensively than Devin, but ain't neither one of them cracking to where the other one got to worry about getting knocked out, right? Both of them, they both very, very good boxers. You know what I'm saying? Both of them can box their ass off. But if I had to pick, I'm gonna have to go with Devin because, like I said, Devin let them hands go more, and Devin got a more well-rounded offensive game than Rich do. But it's a close fight. I wouldn't bet on it. Like, I wouldn't bet nobody on it. You know what I'm saying? It's close to a 50-50 fight. It's as close to a 50-50 fight as you could get. Devin and Hitchens. Yeah, I mean, it's as close as the 50-50 fight. Like I said, I would just edge Devin just a slight bit just because he got better offense to me. But you know, Africa got better defense. So, I mean, like I said, that's a hard one to pick. Val, what's happening with it? What it do with it? My man Val in the building. Hey, Tank and pulled up his dress. We see what's up under that mug. Tank and pulled up his dress, Val, and we see what's up under there. We're gonna get into that a little later. We're gonna get into ain't no exceptions. Oh, nah, he don't get no pass. He definitely ain't getting no pass over here. I see everybody else. You know, it's saying like everybody else want to make exceptions for Tank and give Tank Davis a pass besides me, Blue Blood, and everybody else want to give him a pass. Me, Blue Blood, and maybe Claymore Rain. Yeah. Everybody else besides that want to give him a pass. You know what I'm saying? Don't none of the shit, the expectations that we expect from as boxing fans from other fighters. Well, Tank get a pass. That don't count for Tank. And let me correct myself. I know it's other people that probably on Tank helmet for being, you know what I'm saying, for that whole shit that he been saying and how he been moving. But I'm saying from the people that I've watched. From the people that I've watched. And like I said, we'll get into that a little more later. But back to the fights this weekend before I get deep into that. Back to the fights from this weekend because, like I said, it was some good fights this weekend, man. Before I get into, get back into the Richardson Hitchens fight with Liam Paro, I touched on that a little bit. Man, let me get into my man. What's old boy? Old boy that lost. Damn. Old boy from the DMV. Val. What's the old boy from the DMV that fought? I don't know why I can't think of his name. I don't know why I can't think of his name, man. Old boy from DMV that took his first L this weekend. Somebody help me out. Somebody help me out, man. I don't know why. I got a brain freeze. I don't know why I can't think of his name. Yeah, Jalil Hackett. Thank y'all. Jalil Hackett. My boy Jalil Hackett, man. I rock with Jalil Hackett. I'm a fan of Jalil Hackett. But Jalil Hackett has not been disciplined lately. He been blowing up between fights, right? He been struggling making weight. And what I didn't like from Jalil Hackett is, yeah, Devin Haney did jump on the internet, talking reckless, right? But Jalil Hackett talked reckless about Devin before in the past. What I didn't like is after taking the L to somebody that Hackett was supposed to beat this guy easy. Hackett is still in the stage to where they're giving him showcase fight opponents, right? Where he's supposed to go out there, put his skills on display, and look spectacular doing it. He's still at that level, right? So if you getting and you know it was a controversial decision, right? But it shouldn't even been controversial, right? He should have been able to beat that fighter easy. That's easy work. Those are the caliber of fighter that Jalil Hackett should be beating easy. Now, after you took that L, whether you feel you lost or not, don't jump on the internet the next day and go on to my man channel and start talking about, oh, we want to fight Devin Haney. Devin was talking shit. What's up? Man, come on now, dog. Why are you calling out Devin Haney? I wasn't feeling that from Jalil Hackett. Talking about, oh, we can get into some street shit. I'm really street. I'm going to show him he was a silver spoon. Yeah, that's cool, but, bro, you just took an L against a D-level fighter. So I wouldn't, and I like Jalil Hackett. I rock with Hackett. That's my guy. But don't take no L to no C- D-level fighter and then jump on the internet talking about I'm calling out Devin Haney because he was talking. Nah, nigga, call out the nigga that you just lost to. Call out that C- D-level fighter that you just lost to and get your get back because you're not on Devin Haney level. Like, you come on, man. I keep the same energy for everybody. I didn't like that shit. Like, I didn't like that. Like, you literally gonna get on here and act like you ain't just lose to somebody that they was giving you a showcase fight. Come on, bro. You just got your ass whooped. You don't need to be calling out Devin nobody. Unless the nigga middle name that you just lost to is Devin. Call him out. Talking about some Brian Norman and Devin. Nah. You ain't even on that. You ain't on that level. Your discipline on that level. Your skills ain't on that level yet. So nah. That ain't it. I wasn't feeling that. So man, I don't know. That type of shit, man, that's clown shit to me. And so they was over there on Mill City calling out Devin and all that. And ain't nobody gonna tell him that. Ain't nobody else gonna tell him that. But see, if I was over there on Mill City, I would have told him, like, you don't need to be calling out no Devin, nobody right now. You need to be trying to get that rematch with that dude that just beat you. Because you still showing, if you're getting beat by D and C level fighters, well, you may be a C level fighter right now. And then another thing I want to talk about is fans now, right? Fans is crying on the internet talking about, oh, you see Eddie Hearn keep getting his fighters beat. Eddie Hearn keep getting his fighters beat. We supposed to want to see competitive fights. We ain't supposed to be crying about Eddie Hearn getting his fighters beat. Just like Eddie Hearn said, if the fighter is not good enough, when they give them a small test, they're not going to pass it. If they good enough, they wouldn't be getting beat. So you can't blame Eddie Hearn and say he's getting his fighters beat. They just ain't good enough. They need to get better. I don't want to see these fighters talk about how great they are, because see what these fighters do now, like Jalil Hackett. They'll go on Mill City and talk about what they gonna do to somebody and how great they are and this, and that before they did anything in the sport, right? Go out there and get beat, and then people want to blame the promoter. You wasn't good enough. My man Val said he looks exactly like a 9 and 10 fighter, period. Yeah, bro, like you not on that level. You ain't that. And the fans need to stop with this bullshit talking about, oh, Eddie getting his fighters beat. Nah, he's giving them small tests. They're not passing it. So it's up to them to do what they got to do to get better. Fans is so used to seeing fighters, built the smoke and mirrors, right? They fooling you, telling you a fighter is this and that, putting them in with just Rudy Poo competition. And fans have grown to like to see that shit if they like a fighter. These fans nowadays, they don't want to see their favorite fighter in there with no competition. That's why they crying about, man, Eddie Hearn, he just getting all his fighters beat. How is he getting his fighters beat? Let me make that shit make sense. Because all of these fighters, when they get on platforms, they tell you that they this, they that, they ready for the top competition. Come on, man. Like I said, Jalil Hackett was just calling out Devin Haney, calling out Brian Norman. But then when they put you in the ring with a C or a D plus fighter, you're losing. You ain't it. Just is what it is. The Mark Castro. He's another one of Eddie Hearn's, I guess you could say, prospect. I don't know how long you're supposed to be a prospect because Mark Castro been a prospect for a long, long time. And for a long time, I've been knowing that Mark Castro ain't shit. If you watch Mark Castro, he ain't been shit like that. He ain't been on that level. I knew it was just time. I knew his time was coming for him to get his ass beat. And this past Saturday, his time came. And now y'all was crying about, oh, he got him beat. Like, come on, man. Eddie Hearn was he was absolutely right when he went on the rant and he said, look, do y'all want to see competitive fights or do y'all want to continue to see mismatches? You know what I'm saying? Eddie Hearn was right. I don't want to see these mismatches. I want to see these fighters that's talking like that they it. If you talking that big shit, I want to see them in competitive fights. If you can't get the job done, well, you're not on that level and you need to go back down, continue fighting C and D level fighters until you get on that level, if you ever get on that level. Straight up and down. You know what I'm saying? It is what it is. So, man, yeah, Jalil Hackett was out of pocket, meant even responding. I don't give a damn what Devin Haney said on the internet. I don't care. You don't deserve no fight with a fighter like Devin Haney. You're not on his level, and you got a long ways to get on his level. So yeah, Jalil trying to call out Devin after you just took that L. That wasn't the route to go. That ain't it, dog. You know what I'm saying? But other than that, I just had to get that off my chest because that shit just didn't sit right with me. Yeah, Blood Sports. Everybody trying to tiptoe their way, right, to a perfect record. Don't nobody really, it's a few fighters that really want that smoke. They trying to tiptoe their way to a perfect record. It don't work like that. 619 Cali Factor, salute. It don't work like that. Especially if you on this internet talking big shit. I want to see you in some real smoke. That's just what it is. Y'all give me a second. Y'all give me 1 second. All right, we back. Shamar, what's good with it? What's good with it, fam? So back to the fights this weekend, right? Back to the other fights this weekend. I'm gonna go back to my man Africa. Man, Africa, like I said, he one of them ones. He's showing that he one of them ones, and people mentioning him with Devin Haney. For the people that wasn't in here earlier, I touched on a little bit. People mentioning Africa and Devin Haney. I like that fight. I like that fight a lot, just from a pure boxing perspective. You know, that's a chess match, a very close fight. But like I said, I would have to edge Devin Haney in that fight just because Devin got he got more tools in his bag when it comes to offense. I think Devin is a better offensive fighter than Hitchens, but not by a lot. I just think that he got, just more tools in the bag, right? But I also think that Hitchens is a better defensive fighter, right? But not by a lot. So, like I said earlier, that's a 50-50 fight. And I wouldn't have a problem if you said you picked Devin. I wouldn't have a problem with anybody that say that they got Hitchens in that fight. But me, I would edge Devin slightly in that fight. But edge Devin slightly because I think that neither one of them are knockout artists, right? So I don't think that Hitchens is going to go in there worried about Devin power like that. I don't think that Devin is going to go in there worried about Hitchens power like that, right? So you could take that off the map. Then it's going to come down to basically, who has the better defense, who got the better offense, who got the better game plan, and it probably going to come down to who makes weight easier, right? Who makes weight easier, who's more active. I think that Devin is going to more so be more active offensively, right? Think that Devin will be more active, try to bring the fight to Hitchens. So that's just kind of like, man, that's really a tough fight to call, but I still would edge Devin. I still would edge Devin by slight. I wouldn't bet on it, though. I like that fight, though. I don't think that the fans of today would like to see that fight. You know what I'm saying? Because we got different fans today. Just like dude came in right now. A troll, he says Hitchens versus Haney equals clinch fest. I mean, bro, I like boxing. I like the technical aspect. I like fighters that got skills. So, I don't think it'll be a boring fight because Devin is really not a boring fighter like that. You know what I'm saying? For a while, I'm going to keep it real. When Devin was like on Showbox and back then, to me, he put on some boring performances back then, right? But he put on some boring performances when he first got on DAZN, right? When he was fighting like Jojo Diaz and fighters like that. But I think he really broke out. Even when he fought Gamboa, you could say that was a boring performance. So he have put on boring performances that he come out, but he win easily in those fights. But then when he fought Linares, that wasn't a boring performance. He put hands and feet all over Linares, right? That was an exciting fight on Devin's behalf to me, right? Then, ever since Loma, Regis Prograis, in his last fight, he haven't been putting on boring performances lately. Even the second George Kambosos fight was not a boring performance. So we can't call Devin a boring fighter because people got to understand certain styles make fights. Devin was very young in a lot of those fights, so you get better, His style was evolving, and I think that his offensive game has evolved. And he's more offensive fighter now, much more offensive minded than he used to be, right? So I think that if anybody like basically press the action in the Hitchens versus Devin Haney fight, it'll be, Haney that'll press the action. So I don't judge a fighter off of one fight or two fights. I judge a fighter off of, the whole career, the whole picture. My man Bruce Gas, what's happening with it? Salute. But I was gonna talk about, man, I could touch on the top ranked fights real quick. Espinosa, he made Robeisy Romero quit, and I didn't see the first fight until Friday night. I didn't see Espinosa and Robeisy Romero, the first fight that they had, until Friday night. I went and watched the first fight, and I studied that first fight on Friday night, right? And after I studied it, I said, he gonna beat Robeisy again. I said that dude is all type of problems for Robeisy Romero, the style that Robeisy Romero has. I seen it, and I picked him to beat Robeisy Romero again. And we seen what happened, man. Robeisy Romero, he quit. He quit, man. That dude was hey, man, that dude is a stylistic nightmare for Robeisy. Robeisy, he was looking good, but he was getting caught with straight shots coming in. And it wasn't no elbow. It wasn't none of that shit, that messed up Robeisy Romero's eye. It was a straight right hand. That's what it was. Because Robeisy was, he was having to get inside. Dude had that length on him. Dude is long as hell. So Espinosa, just like in the first fight, Espinosa started as the rounds went on. Espinosa, he gets more aggressive, right? He started closing that gap. And Robeisy Romero knew that. He knew, yeah, I got an eye injury, and he's closing the gap on me. Fighters like that, man, they can go all day and night. They don't get tired. Espinosa, man, he one of them long, lanky, wiry fighters. He got cracked. He wasn't getting tired. We seen the first fight when he caught Robeisy Romero with that uppercut. The first fight, if that fight had to continue to go on, he would have knocked out Robeisy. Robeisy only lasted the first fight is because the bell rang and saved him. So he's just a stylistic nightmare for Robeisy Romero. And Robeisy said that he was seeing double vision and he didn't want to continue to go on. Hey, man, it is what it is. I'm not going to say he should have kept fighting, and I wasn't in the ring. That ain't me in the ring. I don't know, how he was feeling. It is what it is. He said he made a health decision. And, it is what it is, man. I'm not going to criticize him for it because we not in the ring taking that punishment. Take your L, leave out of the ring with your health and come back to fight another night. It is what it is, Jay Bean, what's happening with it? Brandon Smith says Devin gonna get beat like he stole something if he fights a top guy on his comeback. Go fight a Mexican that work in flower shop somewhere. He got to get his confidence up. So you want him to go fight a Mexican that work in a flower shop somewhere, so then you can hop on the internet and clown him talking about he came back fighting a bomb. That's basically what you basically saying. Because you saying you want him to go fight a Mexican, a bomb somewhere, and then you just gonna go jump on the internet and talk about that he just fighting a bomb. He's scared. I thought it was everything but let's fight. So this is what I'm gonna say to this, right? I don't want to see him coming back fighting no bomb. Now, do I think it's the smartest thing if he came back and fought like a puncher, like a Subriel Matisse? Nah, because he just got, the situation happened with Ryan, We all know what happened in that situation, right? From a dangerous puncher. So I wouldn't say that he need to get in the ring with a dangerous puncher again that's cracking like that. You know what I want to see, since a lot of y'all Gervonta Davis fanatics thought so highly of Pitbull, I would like to see him get in the ring with a Pitbull Cruz. Because I know he'll box the shit out of Pitbull Cruz. I wouldn't mind seeing that. I wouldn't mind seeing him fight somebody like a Pitbull Cruz. But see, since we on Devin, right, we can tap into the Devin. We can tap into Devin. Brandon Smith says, I'm not clowning anyone. I'm just saying. Well, my bad. Let me take that back. Not you per se, because I don't know. You know what I'm saying? I can't put that on you because I don't know you, right? But I'm saying that that's what the fans are gonna say, right? That's what the majority of fans gonna say. They gonna clown him, right? They gonna troll him if he come back and fight a cab driver, right? I think that, speaking to Devin, right? Because Devin now is saying that he feels that the promoters are blocking him. That's why he haven't announced the fight. That's why he ain't been back in the ring. The promoters are blocking him, right? Well, I can't agree with Devin with that, right? I can't agree with that when Devin says that. I can't agree with that shit because the reason why, right? This is the reason why is because Devin demands a certain amount of bread that he want to make, right? He got a certain amount of money that he wants to make. So he could have fought Sandor Martin. He didn't want to take a Sandor Martin fight because it wasn't enough money, right? And then he turned down Paro, right? He turned down Paro. That's why Hitchens got the Paro fight. So you can't say that they blocking you out because there was opponents for you. That's two opponents right there. I think those are two opponents that would have been good for Devin to get back in the ring with. And I think that Devin possessed the skills to beat both of them. You know, I think that Paro would have been a tough fight for Devin, right? Because Paro, he can box, as he showed against Hitchens. And he do, if you try to fight Paro and you let him catch you, he do got power, right? So I think that would have been when it was announced that Devin may come back and fight Paro, I was like, oh yeah. I was like, man, Devin on that shit. Like he coming back strong. But then I don't know what happened with that situation. You know, let Paro and them tell it that Devin, you know, hey, he the one that, you know, decided not to go that route for whatever reason it was. I don't exactly know, right? But I thought that was a solid fight. Thought it was a solid fight, a dangerous fight to come back. But I would have liked to see that fight. And then the Sandor Martin, I thought that was probably, if you look at the situation Devin was coming from with Ryan Garcia, right? I think that was the best fight for Devin. A Sandor Martin fight, right? Defend your WBC strap. And it's somebody that's a pure boxer like yourself. Somebody that really don't have power like that. So you don't have to go in there worrying about, oh, am I going to get hit with a hook? Can I take the power shot and all of that? Sandor Martin ain't that. He's a really good boxer, but he ain't cracking like that. So I thought that was a great fight, but he ain't want to take it because what was it like 1 million, 1.5 million? He wanted, you know, he want them bigger paydays. So with all of that being said, that's why I don't agree when Devin says that it's the promoters blocking him out. It ain't the promoters because that's two fights right there that you could have had. You see what I'm saying? Like who do you want to fight? As far as Teofimo Lopez, I'm gonna get on him deeper lately, but you can't make Teo fight you. Like the Teo shit is like, man, it's like we all seen Turkey wanted Teo and Devin. Devin and Bill was with that, right? Devin and Bill was with it, But then Tio wasn't with it. And you can't really listen to shit that Tio say, because Tio, he's a compulsive liar. And a lot of times you can't listen to shit that Devin and Bill say, because they've been known to lie a lot. So it's just like that situation with them, it's like, man, with that situation, you gotta believe the in-between man, right? And the in-between man in that situation was Turkey Al-Sheikh, right? We seen Turkey call for the fight. We seen Turkey say that he wanted, Tio and Devin to get it on. We know Turkey was going to pay. So in that situation, to me, it looked like Tio ducked out of that situation. To me, it looked like Tio ducked out of that situation. So you can't come back after all of that and then say that y'all offered Devin a fight and you offered him a 45-55 split on the pay-per-view. Well, first of all, Tio, how are you the A side? Like, let's break this down. How are you the A side? Last time I checked, Tio ain't never had a pay-per-view fight. Last time I checked, Tio is still fighting in small 4,000, 5,000 venues. Devin do bigger numbers. Devin been in the bigger fights. So ain't no motherfucking way you the A side and you talking about you offered for him to take 45% of the pay-per-view revenue and you to take 50%, and you're the A side. So in that situation, I'm looking at Tio and he looking like Boo Boo the fucking clown. Because that's what he is. He's a clown. Like, that's just what it is. Get mad if you want to. Like, you can't, like, I don't care if you don't. Like I said, I'm not the biggest Devin Haney fan, but I ain't going to sit up here and lie on the man. Like, Teofimo Lopez is not the A side over Devin Haney. He just not. Not if you still fighting in arenas that only hold 5,000, 4,000 people. How the fuck you the A side? How are you talking about how are you turning down an offer, right, from Turkey Al-Sheikh to fight Devin, and then months down the line you come and talking about we sent them an offer? Nigga, I would have ignored your ass too. Yeah, if I was Devin and them, I would have ignored your ass too. Straight up and down. And my man, Big Dog Willie, he said, ETB, what's good? These fools hate Shakur tough. Well, man, we know what that's about. He a threat today, today, he a threat today, motherfucking God. Ultraman, what's happening with it? What it do? What it do? Salute. But yeah, so man, as far as Devin, man, I don't know who he gonna fight next. It's a lot of smoke at 140. You not gonna be able to get no $5 million or whatever, you're not gonna be able to get that big bag with the fighters that's available, unless it's you and Tio come together and make that fight happen. That's a big fight. But Tio, he seemed like he got something else on the agenda, or do he got something else on the agenda? We're going to get into that in a minute too. Y'all smash the like button. Y'all smash the like button. Smash on the like button. It's free. Smash on the like. Mike Golden says, definitely no threat to Tank. He must be because you got triggered. He must be because you dove in. Let me save him. Let me save him. Let me save my baby boy. You got triggered. Flyer Frequency say what I think about Devin Hackett. Hold on. I talked about that earlier in the show. I think that Jalil Hackett don't got no fucking business calling out Devin Haney. He out of pocket. That's what I think. Jalil Hackett just got beat by a C-minus a D-level fighter, and now you calling out Devin Haney. I think it's some clown shit. That's what I think. You're not on Devin Haney level. You still on the level of the fighter that you just lost to on Saturday. Even though it was a controversial decision and they probably should have gave you the W, but the fight shouldn't even been that close. So for you to turn around and call out Devin Haney the next day is some clown shit. That's what I think. And I like Jalil Hackett. I'm a fan of Jalil Hackett. But you know, feel some type of way about it, feel some type of way about it. I didn't like that shit. But yeah. Jay Bean says Dev versus Frank Martin could sell Warriors Arena. I think it could, but this is the problem with that. Is Frank Martin only fight on the PBC. He only fights under the PBC telecast, even though that his promoter is Errol Spence, but Errol Spence is under Al Hammond, and that's the PBC, and we know how that go. We know that they don't have a working relationship with the Haneys. We see that. It's obvious. I like that fight, but they don't have a working relationship with the Haneys. So, with that being said, it's not realistic. It should be realistic. And to me, man, with all of these promoters that see a lot of y'all are PBC this and PBC that. And man, PBC, for me, they was the promotional company for years, man, when they came in and they were showcasing all of the black fighters and you know, the colored fighters, the Latino fighters and the black fighters, and they was putting on great shows. You know, I'm talking about from 2015 to like, let's say 2019, right? 2019. Right. But after that, man, and maybe I'm not exact, right? But they put on good shows here and there, like the David Benavidez and Morrell fight. I love that. But PBC is looking bad because it looked like all these other promotional companies, they working together. And PBC kind of still on the outside doing their own thing. They need to join it. They need to jump in the game so we can get these fights happen, because they still got a lot of talent over there. But Frank Martin and Devin Haney, that should be a fight that shouldn't have no loopholes or, you know, to jump through to make that happen. I like that fight a lot. You know what I'm saying? I like that fight a lot, man. So, and that was, you know, JB, you came with one right there. Devin Haney versus Frank Martin. Hell of a fight. Frank Martin announced that he moving up to 140. Don't mention his name with nobody at 135 no more. And so, yeah, man, I like that fight. That's a solid fight. You know, yeah. That fight I do really like. But other than that, who else can dare fight? Who else can dare fight? Like I said, it's a lot of, man, it's so many fights. It's so many fighters at 140 pounds. It's a lot of smoke at 140. My man Val said he will keep winning no matter how you feel. My boy Shakur over everyone in this boxing shit. Man, they threaten, and we're gonna get on their helmet in a minute. But yeah, man. Devin and Devin Haney and Frank Martin, and I got Devin beating Frank Martin. I got Devin outboxing the shit out of Frank Martin. But Frank Martin, you know, he do pack some power. So Devin he just can't go in there reckless, but I do got Devin beating Frank Martin. But I don't know, man. We'll see. I'm hearing that he got an announcement coming soon. We see he in the gym working, and you see what he working on, right? He working on that left. He working on blocking that left hook. But if you let him tell it, it wasn't a left hook. It was all Osterine. It had nothing to do with no left hook. You know what I'm saying? If you let him tell it. So, and you know, if you let Devin Haney tell it, they asked him what did he feel that he did wrong in the Ryan Garcia fight, and he said nothing. He said it was just, you know, that he was on Osterine. So, I don't know. Make it make sense to me that now you in there working on, you know, defense and blocking the left hook over and over and over. Well, I mean, you know. But I also think that if Devin rematches Ryan Garcia, if he fixes the defensive flaw that he had, he'll beat Ryan Garcia. Because Ryan is not disciplined. Ryan is more so depending on, can he get that left hook off on you? You know what I'm saying? He depending on that shit. And he can't stay disciplined throughout no whole training camp. He's a goddamn idiot. So I would pick Devin over him if he could fix that defensive flaw. But, you know, that's an if, because you can work on that shit a 1,000 times, but once he disguises it and puts it together with other punch combinations, now can you block it? That's the thing. So can you stay away from it? That's yet to be seen. But I think that when you look at the landscape and you talk about Devin Haney and who should he fight next, I think it's only really comes down to one answer, right? Because we know Ryan is getting reinstated in April. You know, he might be having an exhibition, but he ain't in no real fight. He can't be in no real fight. So get back with Ryan Garcia. That's a huge fight. That fight probably do over 1 million pay-per-views now. You know what I'm saying? If you are a boxing fan and Ryan Garcia, well, let me take that back. If you call yourself a boxing fan, and Ryan Garcia and Devin Haney rematch, and you don't support that shit, don't ever call yourself a boxing fan ever again. Because you know you're going to watch it. So that's a fight to pay for. That's a fight to support. Ryan and that. So, I mean, I think that fight is huge. For Devin Haney right now, it don't get no bigger than a Ryan Garcia rematch. We know Tank ain't fighting nobody. You know what I'm saying? Like I said, we pulled up Tank's dress and we know what's up under there. You know what I'm saying? We know what's up under Tank's skirt. He exposed himself in front of the whole world, and we seen what he got up under that skirt. So, you know, so I don't think it's no bigger fight in the boxing right now for Devin than Ryan Garcia. You feel me? So Ryan Garcia and Devin Haney run that shit back. That's the fight. While we sitting here, you know, trying to think of a good fight for Devin to come back, it's Ryan Garcia. That's a no-brainer. Should be a no-brainer. Although Ryan got to get in drug tested. Now, the thing is, right, with the whole drug testing thing with Vada, Ryan didn't want to enroll in Vada. Well, I see why he didn't want to enroll in Vada, because you can't go enroll in Vada when at one time you was accusing Vada of maybe tampering with your drug test. and you accuse Vada of being in works with the Haneys, right? So you accuse Vada of doing a lot of foul shit. So why? What it would look bad on him if he went in and rolled with Vada after accusing Vada of everything that he accused Vada of. So if they fight, I wouldn't even expect Ryan to enroll in Vada, but I would expect him to enroll with what is it, like USADA or one of those other drug testing agencies. And yeah, he would have to be extensively drug tested randomly. And I think that 12 weeks out from the fight, it would have to start randomly 12 weeks out from the fight. I think that's more than enough time. And yeah. Yeah. So I mean, VADA is not the only drug testing agency in boxing. You can use a different drug testing agency. I mean, these fighters, they're paying for it out of the promoter or the fighter gonna pay for it out of their pocket anyway. So it don't have to be VADA. Well, Bruce Gas, we can't, Ryan talking a whole bunch of shit. Ryan come up with a different name every week. But the fight for Ryan Garcia is Devin. The fight for Devin is Ryan. More so for Devin. You know what I'm saying? Devin really need to go get that get back. Now, I think this dude, so, a lot of Tank fans is real zesty. And this dude, he keep typing and he keep typing, right? So let me read his comments because this is a zesty Gervonta Davis fan because he didn't type a million times in the chat showing his love for Gervonta Davis. He says Tank gonna retire because Loma and Rayo scared. The next one. Yeah, Tank leftovers versus Devin 2. That's a huge fight. Next one. Tank fight no one, but his leftovers whoop Devin. I mean, you really love Gervonta Davis, don't you? You really love that man, don't you? Here you go again. What happened on 4/20/24? Tank leftovers exposed pillow fist. I mean, bro, Tank don't want to chase weak Shakur around. I mean, bro, this dude, if there was a naked poster of Tank out there somewhere, I guarantee you he would have that shit hung up right over his bed. And he gonna make you good use of that shit every night before he go to sleep. You tanker maniacs are the zestiest fans out of any sports fan base ever in the history of any sports. And y'all just weird, man. Y'all weird for real. Y'all weird, man. For real talk. I bet you bite blood out your bottom lip and lick it up when you see Tank, huh? You just lick up the blood off your bottom lip that you biting out. You come listen to me. I make you bite blood out your bottom lip, and then you look at Tank poster real zesty and lick it off your bottom lip, don't you? You biting blood and licking it at the same time. I make these niggas bite blood and lick it at the same time. Lick that shit off your bottom lip, boy. Motherfucking Tank, man. I don't know, man. Boy, something, man. Y'all something different. Omega Red, what's happening with it? Diana, salute, queen. Let's move on real quick, right? And we're gonna get back on Tank. We're gonna get back on your lover. We're gonna get back on your lover in a minute. So we ain't off of Tank yet. But Michael Smith says, you sound like a Tank hater. Yeah, I hate bitch ass niggas. You right. You damn near right. You right. Now bite blood out your bottom lip. Yeah, I don't like bitch ass niggas. So I mean, that make you feel better? Did that make you feel better? Now, before I was interrupted, but salute, man. Y'all smash the like button. Let's smash the like button. Before I was interrupted, I want to move on and talk about this Teofimo Lopez and boot stuff, right? I want to talk about this Teo and boot stuff, right? Because Teo was asked who he wants to fight. If he could pick 3 opponents, and in this order, he said Jaron Boots Ennis, Gervonta Davis, and Terrence Crawford. When I heard him say that, I said, here go Teo with that bullshit again. I'm telling y'all my thoughts. I said, Teo's on that bullshit again, and he really don't want to fight nobody. Because why are you calling out Jaron Ennis, and why do you have Terrence Crawford's name in your mouth, right? Because the only realistic fight that he should have been saying out of those fighters was Gervonta Davis. So when I heard that, I said, okay, obviously he don't want to fight Tank, because instead of calling out Tank and saying, okay, well, Tank first, and then maybe down the line, if I move up to 147, I would want to fight a Boots or something like that. It's the way he said it, how he said it, and in the order that he said it. I said he full of shit, because whether you like Teo or you don't, we know that Teo has a history of being full of shit and just saying stuff, right? He just say shit. So I said, all right, whatever. I ain't paying no attention to it. But then Bob Arum came out and said, well, we're trying to make a fight with Teofimo Lopez and Jaron Ennis. That's the fight that Teo says he wants. So I said, oh, Bob is calling Teo's bluff. Bob Arum is calling Teo's bluff, because Bob is sick of Teo getting in front of the camera, talking slick, talking tough. So I feel like Bob is like, okay, you keep talking that shit, I'm going to call your bluff. I'm going to call your bluff. Bob, he old. He don't give a damn. He probably sick of Teo. Every time you turn around, Teo is slandering Top Rank, saying that they doing him wrong. They want to promote other fighters, black fighters. They don't want to promote him. They ain't doing this and they ain't doing that. And he did this for Top Rank and all of that, right? So he continues to slander Bob Arum and Top Rank. And then they'll become cool. And then he'll go back and he'll, start running his mouth about Top Rank again. So when I heard Bob come out and say that's the fight that they inquired about, well, I just felt like, okay, now Bob is calling the motherfucker, he calling Teo bluff now. That's what it is. He calling Teo bluff. And ultimately, do I think that Teo and Jaron Ennis fight is going to happen? Absolutely not. Absolutely not. Because I don't think that Teo really wants to fight a Boots Ennis. Y'all can let that shit that the public is talking about Boots fool y'all. Boots is really one of them ones, but y'all know I keep the same energy. So I ain't letting Boots off the hook neither. See, just because I like a fighter, I don't have to sugarcoat because I like that fighter, and I don't have to side with a fighter 100% of the time just because I like a fighter. So I'm not done with Boots. Oh, yeah, I got smoke for Boots today. And Boots is one of my favorite fighters, but yeah, Boots, you're going to get this smoke today. So I ain't done with Boots' ass, but Teofimo Lopez don't want no parts of Boots. If he did ever get in there with Boots, Boots would run through Teo. He'll tear through him like some wet tissue paper. That ain't even a competitive fight. It's not a competitive fight at all. Teo better, and Teo know that. But see, Teo is smart because he knows that he can say some shit on the internet, get the fans hyped up, and everybody is going to run with it. Right? And then when the fight don't happen, 9 times out of 10, he know they gonna blame Boots. Right? Because Teo and his dad, they got a mouthpiece. They talk a lot. Boots and his people, they don't really talk that much. You know, they got YSM and you know, to clear, they got YSM and Greg Hackett on their side now. But you know, Teo and his pops and them, they know how to spin a narrative. So he know what he doing, man. He got everybody talking, and that's what he wants. Oh my God, Teo, man, we got to give Teo props, man. He wants to, man, he calling out Boots. Look at Teo, look at Teo. That's what he want people to do. Now, if he do, you know what I'm saying, hold his nuts, and he really do get in the ring with a Jaron Ennis, and they really do make this shit happen, and he real about this shit, I'm going to say this. I'll never say nothing bad when it comes to boxing about Teofimo Lopez again, as long as I'm on here. And that is that's a fact. Win, lose, or draw. I would never have nothing bad to say about him when it comes to boxing and ducking and just boxing talk, right? At all. If he did really make it happen. But I don't believe that shit one bit. I'm not one of these dudes that see some shit or Michael Carpenter reported and then I go run with the shit and start believing it. I don't believe Teo won't no smoke with Boots. Hell no. He ain't that damn dumb. Teo know what he doing. Because see, Teo just piggybacked off of Ryan Garcia. Ryan Garcia called out Boots. We knew that Ryan Garcia didn't want no smoke with Boots, but it garnered a lot of attention. When Ryan Garcia started calling out Boots and talking about, oh, he gonna fuck up Boots when he come back and all this, right? All eyes was on Ryan Garcia because people believe anything they hear on the internet. People believe anything they hear on the internet. So everybody is believing that Teo really won't smoke with Jaron Boots Ennis. When the fight don't happen, because Teo is the one that supposedly start calling out. Well, I ain't gonna say supposedly, it's just a fake call out. To me, that's my opinion. Because Teo is the one that start calling out Jaron Boots Ennis when it fall out, because when they get behind the scenes and they find out that Teo was bluffing and it's just, you know, a publicity stunt. He don't really want no smoke. When it falls through, they gonna blame it on Ennis. They gonna blame it on Boots. That's how I feel about that situation, man. We on here talking about it. Everybody talking about Teofimo Lopez, right? He was crying because I don't get the attention and all these other fighters. Y'all worried about all these other fighters, and I was the only fighter that beat Josh Taylor and became Lenio and all that, right? He's an attention diva. He needs that attention. Now everybody fooled, thinking that they behind the scenes negotiating the fight with Teofimo Lopez and Jaron Ennis. Now, My man Boots. Okay. Now I got to get on Boots' helmet because I never spoke on the situation with Boots and Virgil Ortiz, right? I never spoke on that situation. Boots. The Virgil Ortiz shit, dog. You look real bad in that situation. And I'm going to tell y'all why. I wasn't feeling Boots in the situation with Virgil Ortiz. And now it's looking even more bad because you talking about you down to fight Teofimo Lopez. You looking bad. And I've been pushing for you, Boots, for a long time, right? With the whole Terrence Crawford situation, I rode for you. But you making me look bad, dog. You made me look bad. Now people talking about, man, I thought you said with Terrence Crawford, now people getting on my helmet because you made me look bad. When I stood up for Boots, the whole Crawford sit, I was like, nah, he really want that smoke with Crawford. He'll move up to 154. Boots said he'll move up to 154. Now you making me look bad, dog. And I'm gonna get into that, man. Okay. Some cough drops, please. Yeah, give me some cough drops. Thank you. And another water. All right, thank you. Yeah, you make it, and see, I'm not one of these dudes, one of these fake ass YouTube dudes that's gonna come on here and try to flip the script and never admit when I'm wrong. You now you looking bad in the whole Terrence Crawford situation, right? Because see, the thing is the whole time Boots was saying you'll take rec with anybody from 147 to shit 160, 168. Whoever wanted. You kept saying you would move up to 150. If Bud want to fight, you will move up to 154 and get that smoke with Bud. You chasing Bud. You'll move up to 154, right? That shit kind of died down. Then we was like, well, man, you saying none of these fighters at 147 to fight you. The Brian Norman thing fell through. You ended up rematching with Karen, and then you got in the ring after the Karen fight and told the whole world, you know what? I might just move up to 154. Then you was adamant and you said, you know, hey, if one of these fighters like a Virgil Ortiz or Terrence Crawford, if any one of them, right, is down to fight, I'll fight him at 154. I'll go to 154 to fight a name. Well, they called your bluff. My dog, they called your bluff, dog. They called your bluff, and when they called your bluff, you ducked out. I don't care who get mad. I don't care who get mad, and I'm a huge Jaron Ennis fan. I'm going to continue to be a fan of Boots because I do really think he liked that. But they put your back up against the wall, and they called your bluff, and I didn't like how you went about that whole situation, man. First, you said you knew nothing about the negotiation. It was cap, bro. It ain't no way that you came out and you told the world that you didn't know nothing about the whole situation with you and Virgil Ortiz. The whole world knew about that. You was the one that was calling out Virgil Ortiz for years. You was the one that said that you would move up to 154 and fight Virgil Ortiz if he wanted to smoke. When they put the bread on the line, when they tried to negotiate, you were the one that backed out, talking about, oh, you want to be undisputed at 147. You don't want to move up to 154 now. Well, if you didn't want to move up, you shouldn't have never opened your mouth and said that shit, dog. You should have never said that shit. And if you never had said that shit, I wouldn't be on here talking about it right now because I'll be like, well, Boo said he want to stay at 147. He continued to say that he want to stay at 147. So, I mean, it is what it is. We can't make the man go to 154. But once you open your mouth and you say, I want anybody, any of these names, I'll move up tomorrow if one of these names won't smoke with me. Well, they called your bluff, dog. and you didn't answer the call. You ducked. Ain't no fight at 147 pounds that you could fight right now as big as a Virgil Ortiz fight. It ain't. And salute to my man Brian Norman. That's my dog. But it just ain't. I can't get up. I can't get in front of this camera and lie and cap to y'all. Boots ain't looking good. I ain't like that shit. And I hadn't talked about it. But that's my take on it. I didn't like that, bro. Once you open your mouth, you got to be a man of your word. Because we can't say that you wasn't getting paid enough because we know Turkey was offering that bag. Turkey was going to offer you more money than you ever made, probably by a lot. Now, is Virgil Ortiz a tough fight? To have your first fight in the new weight division? Hell yeah, it's a tough fight. But you said it. You the one that said that you want to smoke with anybody, that you will beat anybody from 147 to 168. Yeah, man. So you looking bad, man. And now I got to backtrack on defending you with that whole Terrence Crawford situation at 154. Because I do believe that you would have took the smoke and fought Terrence Crawford at 147. But Bud didn't want to stay in the division. He decided to move up. But when we talking about 154, and you saying that, you know, you was wanting to move up to 154 to fight Terrence Crawford, we got to call that cap now. I got to come back and say that I was wrong defending that you would go up to 154 and fight Bud Crawford any day, anytime. If Bud was with the smoke, I was wrong. Now I got to come on here and say I was wrong. I made a lot of videos defending you. I was on Bud's helmet. I said, hey, Bud don't want to smoke. But in the end, I was proved wrong, and it looked like you don't want to smoke because you're not willing to move up to 154. So if you're not willing to move up to 154 to fight Virgil Ortiz for the most money that you ever made in your career, can I say that you're willing to move up to fight Terrence Bud Crawford, a fighter much more dangerous than Virgil Ortiz? Can't do it, dog. But I'm still a fan of Boots, and I'm still gonna support Boots. But I give people a chance, you know. I gave Gervonta Davis a chance after chance after chance until I was just like, man, I'm sick of this nigga. He don't want to fight nobody. So I don't just jump off I don't just jump off and just be like, you know, after one incident. But you can't do that again, Boots. Boots, you can't do that again, bro. So all of these zesty fanboys of fighters, send them this video and tell them this is how you admit when you wrong about something, and this is how you get on the fighter's helmet that you like. Because we see these dudes, they won't say nothing about their favorite fighter. They refuse to say anything about their favorite fighter. Their favorite fighter can do no wrong. They can never be wrong in no situation. Well, I ain't him. I'm not one of them. I'm different than them. Crush the legend. What's happening with it? What it do, Crush? Man said Casanova say Boost was switching phone plans while it was being negotiated. I blame Verizon. Boost never ducked. Hey. Oh man. Man, you feel me, Crush? Whole ass nigga don't never want to come out and you know put no type of blame on the fighter that they love and cherish. They don't never want to say that they wrong about some shit. You know? But yeah, man, That shit made me look bad. Now I gotta come on here looking like a fucking clown and shit. Now I gotta go erase all the videos I done made when I got on Terrence Crawford helmet for not wanting to fight. I'm fucking with. I ain't erasing nothing. But now I was wrong. I mean, cause shit, they say time will tell. They say time will tell, and time proved me wrong that Boots, he wasn't willing to move up to 154 for that smoke with Bud Crawford or Virgil Ortiz. And salute to Virgil Ortiz, man, because I also said that Virgil Ortiz would be the one to duck the smoke. I like Virgil Ortiz. I'm a fan of Virgil Ortiz. I've always been a fan of Virgil Ortiz, but I always was adamant that Virgil wasn't going to take the smoke with Boots, that Virgil would duck. And I was wrong about that. So salute to Virgil Ortiz for standing, you know what I'm saying, for standing 10 toes down, and he was with the fight. He was with it. So, with all that being said, Boots, you look even worse now because after all of that I just talked about, now you talking about that you're willing to fight Teofimo Lopez, but you said the main reason that you didn't want to move to 154 is because you was focused on becoming undisputed at 147. The last time I checked, Teofimo Lopez is a 140-pound fighter, and he ain't got no strap at 147. So this is my thing, man. This is my thing, man. All that shit is cap. Just say, like a lot of these other fighters, you looking to keep that O right now, and you looking to get a bag. Just say that. Because we know that going to 154 and fighting Virgil Ortiz, that's dangerous. I think that you will beat Virgil Ortiz, but it might not go that way. It's a very dangerous fight. So just say that you looking to make a bag, and right now having easier fights. I mean, it ain't like that you be the only one in the sport of boxing today that's doing that shit. I mean, it is what it is. But I still do think that Boots is one of them ones. I think that Boots is, dangerous for anybody from 147 to 154 still. I still probably would favor him to, pretty much beat everybody. I probably, but it's just that we got to see it, and he wasn't willing to give that to us. And that's his choice. And the only reason I'm getting on this helmet is because he said what he said. That's it. That's all. If he hadn't said none of that shit, I wouldn't even, I've been like, hey, you can't make the man do something he don't want to do. Knuckle Up says, everybody want to call Boots a duck when Virgil been ducking for years. Now Virgil ready. F him. Make Ortiz wait like he made Boots wait. Virgil team feel like they got an advantage now because we not making those excuses, bro. But you know why we not making those excuses? This is why we not making those excuses. And I'm going to break it down to you, right? You can't never say Virgil ducked Boots in the past because, first of all, Boots was under a contract to where he only could fight on Showtime. That's one. Virgil Ortiz was only fighting on Golden Boy DAZN. That's two. Boots ain't never sent Virgil Ortiz no contract, no offer before. Virgil Ortiz had never sent Boots no offer or contract before. So all that ducking shit is out the window. Nobody ducked nobody up until recently. When Turkey got involved, it wasn't no sides of the streets. They was all on the same side of the street. and the fight was easy to be made, and they both were going to make more money than they ever made in their whole entire career by a whole lot. And he was the only one that ducked out. So we not going to go that route. And I hate to say that shit because I'm a Boots fan, but I got to keep it a buck. And y'all got to excuse me. I'm still trying to get over this cold. So, man, we just got to keep it real about the situation, no matter if it's your favorite fighter or not. Like, man, like I said, we got to stop acting like our favorite fighter is never in the wrong and they never can do no wrong. Well, Taylor, I just said that Boots and Teo ain't going to fight. That shit ain't going to happen. And it's not going to happen because of Boots. That ain't going to happen because Teo just running his mouth and bluffing. Teo just wants to get attention. You never heard Ortiz? Yeah, Ortiz team said way back in the day that they would fight Jaron Ennis in 4 years. Well, the last time I checked, that was 4 years ago. So, I mean, they didn't lie. When Virgil Ortiz team said that they would fight Jaron Ennis in 4 years, that was 4 years ago. They didn't lie. But you can't say neither one of them ducked because nobody was sent a contract. And back then, that fight pretty much would have been very hard to make. That fight would have been hella hard to make. It wasn't even realistic back then. But when it became realistic, when the money was there, when it wasn't no boundaries or obstacles, only one person ducked out of the fight. He ducked out of the fight. Now, I know people saying, oh, well, he ain't even a 154-pound fighter. How can you? He's a 147-pound fighter. Because I've heard people saying that, right? Well, he said what he said. Ain't nobody trying to force him to do shit. He said that he would move up to 154 if it was a name like a Crawford or a Virgil Ortiz. He put that out in the air. So when they called his bluff, he's supposed to answer that call. So it ain't like that. He's saying, well, nah, I want to stay at 147. I don't have no interest in going to 154. You know, I'm at 140. You know, I look at 154 down the line. He was the one that was, you know, big bad wolfing and hooping and hollering, talking about I'll move up to 154. It don't even matter. Just as long as it's a name. He said that shit, man. So if he had just been like, hey, I'm at 147. When I get to 154, we could talk about them names. I would have been like, cool. I would have been defending him right now. I've been like, the man, why y'all asking the man to fight Virgil Ortiz at 154? The man is a 147-pound fighter. He told you he only fighting at 147. Leave him the fuck alone. That would have been me. I would have been defending him. But I can't defend this. Yeah, everybody get the same smoke, Cali. Cali Factor, everybody get the same smoke. I don't spare nobody. Now, I wanna get on this, but like I said, Boots, you know, it is what it is. I'm still a fan. I'm still gonna rock with Boots. But I want to get on this Gervonta Davis shit. Yeah, I want to get on this Gervonta Davis shit, and I'm gonna say what I gotta say. Then I'm gonna drop a link if anybody want any smoke. So give me a second real quick. Let me go get some more water. I'll be right back. Y'all smash the like button too. Smash that like button for me. All right, so here we go. So I'm gonna make a lot of y'all get mad and bite blood out your bottom lip. I don't give a damn. You type of dudes I don't like personally. It's deeper than boxing because when it come to Tank, man, a lot of y'all show y'all character the way y'all are in real life. So it's deeper than boxing when it come to Tank because he make a lot of y'all show y'all real life character. And it ain't no exceptions for Tank because I see how people talk when it comes to anybody else. But when it's Tank Davis, y'all want to look over it. Y'all don't want to hold him accountable. Y'all just let this dude, do and say as he please. Like, I don't understand what it is with this dude. So, Tank, man, we already talked about that shit with, he told the world flat out he ain't fighting Shakur, right? He ain't fighting Shakur and then made the excuse that, oh, he ain't this and he ain't that, which is cap. He knows he can say all of that shit that he said because he knows his fans are ventriloquists. That's what they are. They got a string in their back and all they do is repeat what he says, right? Because I'm going to give y'all an example. Now, I'm hearing people that got platforms. I'm hearing all the fans say, oh, he right. Keyshawn Davis deserved to fight more than Shakur Stevenson. Keyshawn Davis did this and Keyshawn, and I fuck with Keyshawn. And I love that fight between Keyshawn and Tank. Don't have no problem with the fight, right? But my thing is that y'all same clowns that was running around, that's running around now, talking about, man, Keyshawn Davis deserved to fight more than Shakur Stevenson. He right, Keyshawn Davis did. Y'all are the same clowns that was just crying a couple weeks ago talking about Keyshawn don't deserve no fight with Tank. Who the hell does he think he is? Keyshawn ain't done nothing. Keyshawn out of pocket calling out Tank. Y'all was just crying talking about Keyshawn don't deserve a fight with Tank. Who the hell he think he is? And this and that. Tell Keyshawn to go fight such and such. And he ain't on Tank's level. But now Tank came out and said that weird ass shit that he said. Now, I'm telling y'all like fucking ventriloquists. Just pull a string in your back and repeat what Gervonta Davis tell y'all to say verbatim. Now it's, man, Keyshawn looking good, man. We want to see Keyshawn and Tank. Man, that fight, we want to see the fight between Keyshawn and Tank way more, man. We don't want to see no Shakur. Shakur don't deserve no fight with Tank. What has Shakur done? Shakur ain't never fought nobody. Shakur ain't, man, he ain't done nothing in the sport of boxing. It's Keyshawn. Y'all weird, man. Y'all are fucking weirdos. All of y'all is weirdos, right? It's just like, and so Tank uses that shit to his advantage, right? To be what he is, really. You know what I'm saying? He just a pussy that can fight, that they took under his wing as a little kid, that was athletically gifted, right? Talented. They taught him how to fight, but he still got it in him. He's still what he is. And I will respect, because Tank came out and he says, I don't really care about these legacy fights and none of that. Like, I don't care about my legacy. I don't care about y'all the ones that want me to fight these guys, right? I don't care about none of that. I just want my money and to get up out the sport. So he told us, the guys that you think would be tough competition, that you think, I don't care about none of that. I don't need to fight none of them. So I would respect that. I would respect Tank for that shit, right? And I'm gonna keep it a buck with y'all. I would respect Tank, and I would say, you know what? He told us. You know what I'm saying? If the man is telling us how he feel, I can only respect it because I'm not the one getting the ring, right? I'm not the one taking the punishment. I only can respect that, right? So I would respect it 1,000%. But he didn't leave it at that, right? Because you can't say that, right? but then come and say, oh man, such and such ain't this and such ain't that, and I'll knock out, man, I'll knock him out and I'll knock him out and I'll knock him out. But I'm not willing to get in the ring and show it. That's what I don't respect. Stop talking that tough shit if you're not willing to get in the ring and fight none of these guys. That's what I don't respect. Because he could have been like, look, man, next question. You know, he could have been like, look, man, let Shakur do what he want to do. That's his business. Let, Keyshawn do what he want to do. I'm on my own path. I'm not worried about none of them. They great fighters. They can do what they want to do. But see, the nigga's so childish and he's so bitch made, he got to try to down another fighter that he feels threatened by because he knows that he has a fan base that got an IQ level of 10, and that all they're going to do is go regurgitate anything that he says. So 1 week, his fans was crying about Keyshawn Davis calling out Tank, saying he don't deserve it and all that shit. The next week, Tank come out and say Keyshawn done more than Shakur, but he ain't done shit. Now y'all, well, Keyshawn done more than Shakur. What has Shakur done? It's like, man, y'all don't even think for yourselves. So he knows that he got that control of grown-ass men. He got that control over grown-ass men. He knows that his fan base is not gonna hold him accountable for nothing at all. All they're gonna do is regurgitate anything that he says or Kenny Ellis says or anybody on his team says. And that's why he's never had to really fight nobody like that. That's why he's 30 years old and people's calling him a 30-year-old prospect. I don't call him a prospect, but he's still fighting fighters on a contender level. He ain't fighting he's not fighting top world championship caliber fighters. And he never will. And that's cool because he said that he is not in it for that. He don't care about that. And that's all cool. But don't talk big tough shit saying that I'll knock him out and I'll knock him out too. Don't talk that shit if you ain't willing to do it, because your fan base, it's good enough for them not to ever see you in there with no real smoke. They okay with you saying that you'll do it. They're okay with fantasy shit. But the cloth that I'm cut from, where I come from, we don't ride with that shit. You got to show us. You got to show us. And yeah, so he the one that got the name now. That's why you see all these YouTube channels that if you go look back at a lot of these niggas' histories, they wasn't huge Gervonta Davis fan, but now Tank can do no wrong and Tank is this and Tank because they're monetizing off of Gervonta Davis's name. They know that if they say what his fan base want to hear, they're going to get a bunch of fucking views. But I'm not respecting that corny ass shit because all of that shit is fake. That shit's fake. I'm gonna use Blue Blood for example, right? And I respect Blue because he keep it trill. Like me and Blue, we don't agree on everything. We ain't agreed on everything in the past, right? But it ain't never been no personal shit between me and him, just boxing shit, right? But you don't think Blue can come out and do what a lot of these other channels be doing, right? Stroke off Gervonta Davis and make all his content tailor-made to Gervonta Davis and say everything that Gervonta Davis's fan base want to hear so he can have 1,000 motherfuckers in his chat again. That's easy to do. It's easy for a motherfucker to be fake. to ride off a wave, and that's what a lot of these motherfuckers is doing. That's why everything is tank. Tank can do no wrong. Tank this and tank that. Because people know that his fan base, they gullible and they're not fucking real stand-up men. They ain't real men. If you can't say, okay, you know what, Tank out of pocket. Like, what do you mean you ain't gonna fight Shakur and but you calling but you calling him a pussy and this and he ain't that, and you talking about you will knock him out? Like, stop all that bullshit, bro. We don't believe you no more. Real ones don't believe that shit. Yeah, I got his name in my title, clown, because I'm talking about his ass right now. And I'm saying what you don't want me to say about him right now. So the point is, like I said, Tank fans, they don't have good comprehension. Y'all can't comprehend. The point that I just made is, if I was fake, I would come on here and I would be like, man, Tank don't got to. Tank is right. Man, Tank can knock out every fucking body. Tank is this and Tank is that, and man, Tank this and Tank that, and man, Tank, man, he'll knock the fuck out, man. What has Shakur done? What has anybody done? Ain't nobody on Tank level. That was my point, you clown ass nigga. But you can't comprehend. So if I wanted to be fake, I could be fake, and I would make all y'all niggas ride with me. That's easy to do. That's easy to do. Y'all be like, oh man, ETB cooking. Man, that nigga cooking, man. That's facts. Man, that's easy to do. Do that shit. I could leave off of this motherfucker for a week and come back next week and do that shit. All you niggas would ride with that shit. Man, that's a fact. Man, ETB cooking now. Come on, man. You know how this shit work. So respect to the ones that ain't doing that fake ass shit. That's keeping it a buck, because the problem is the ones that's doing that shit, y'all ruining the boxing game. This is why these fighters act like they act. This is why we don't get a lot of fights, because you don't hold fighters like that accountable. These fighters get a name and y'all don't want to hold them accountable. Y'all don't want to keep it real. It's no way that you could call yourself a boxing fan and regurgitate that bullshit that Tank be saying and stand and really, really support how he acts. Like, how do y'all support how a nigga like that acts? Y'all ain't gonna support it if Devin Haney did it. Y'all ain't gonna support it if Shakur act like that. Y'all ain't gonna support it if Boots act like that. Y'all wouldn't support it if no other fighter y'all would support if they acted like that. Y'all wouldn't support that shit. But because it's Tank, y'all support it. That's why I really do think that, you know, Tank got a zesty male fan base that is deeper than boxing. The reason why they like Tank. I mean, I be on X. You got to see some of the shit that y'all say on there when it comes to Tank. I don't give a fuck what that nigga braids look like. You know, come on, man. Y'all know who I'm talking about. And see, bitch ass niggas that got the same thing up under their skirt that Tank got, they get triggered, right? Because he says, I'm doing the same thing for Shakur. What I'm doing for Shakur? Who did Shakur come out and say that he wouldn't fight? Did Shakur come out and say that he'll never fight Tank? Make this shit make sense, clown ass nigga. Did Shakur come out and say that he would never fight Tank? Did Shakur come out and say he'll never fight Ryan Garcia? Did Shakur come out and say that he'll never fight Teofimo Lopez? Did Shakur, I mean, make it make sense to me. Make it make sense. But instead, what Tank is doing, he's talking about he wants a rematch with Ryan Garcia after this little ass nigga said that he can't fight at 140 pounds. When it comes to anybody else, he can't fight at 140, but he want to fight a rematch with Ryan Garcia. And he calling out Jake Paul. But y'all got your pom-poms out rooting for that shit? This is the type of fighter that y'all support. A 30-year-old motherfucker that ain't never stepped up and fought a number 1, 2, or 3 in his division. But just because, well, he knocked out everybody. Okay, what caliber of fighters is he knocking out? Man, whole career been handpicked. Handpicking fighters, weight draining them. But y'all like clown ass shit like this. And y'all call yourself real boxing fans. Miss me with that bullshit. So when people say, "Oh man, you're a Gervonta Davis hater," yeah, I don't like. I hate bitch ass niggas like that. Straight up and down. So I mean, bite blood out your bottom lip. Yeah, I don't like him. I don't like him. I don't like nothing about how he move. I don't like nothing about him. Is he talented? Can he fight? Yeah, he can fight. But that don't mean that he ain't a sucker. That don't mean he ain't a sucker. And like I said, man, and I'm going to keep saying this shit, I would have no problem with what he's doing because he admitted it, right? He admitted it. Y'all still don't want to believe it. I would have no problem with it if he wouldn't come back right after he say the shit that he say and be like, "Oh man, I'll knock all of them the fuck out." Stop talking the shit and saying what you'll do to these fighters if you're not willing to get in the ring. Stop saying that you're the best if you're not willing to get in the ring and fight the best. And I can accept it. But that's just like me talking mad shit, talking about, "Oh man, I'm gonna beat the fuck out of you when I see you. I'm gonna do this, I'm gonna do that." And then when you pull up, I run. And then I'm down the street talking about some 99 boo-boo, you can't catch me. That's him. He's the 99 boo-boo, you can't catch me ass nigga. I'm gonna talk all of the shit. I'm gonna get everybody hyped up and riled up. I'm gonna talk big shit. Tell everybody, "Oh, I'm knocking him out. I'm the best, and I'm a this, and I'm gonna do that, and I'll fuck him up too." But I ain't gonna fight him, no. That's good enough for y'all. He's the 99 boo-boo nigga that talk real tough, and then when you pull up on him, he running down the street with his tongue stuck out. "Ha, you can't catch me. Everybody, man. Some of y'all was the kids that used to get beat up on. Some of y'all were the kids that used to do the beating up, right? Well, I was one of the kids that used to beat up on other kids. I used to fight all the time. And it was kids that would do that shit. When we was growing up, it was kids that were, they'll run from you. You couldn't catch them, and they'll get far away and be like, "Nah, boo-boo, ha, you can't catch me." That's him. I don't like that type of shit. That's sucker shit. If you ain't willing to get in there and fight, stop talking shit. It's simple as that. The nigga's starting to act like George Kambosos. Mine is getting beat up by everybody because George Kambosos talk all that shit and get beat up by everybody. I don't like that type of shit. Y'all like rocking with shit like that, but I don't like that type of shit. So when this clown ass nigga, when you say that, oh man, you do the same shit for Shakur. If Shakur acted like that, nigga, I would be on his motherfucking helmet. Everybody in here that really know me know I'll be on his helmet if Shakur did some sucker shit like that. Yeah, right. At least George Kambosos do get in there and get his ass whooped. For real, man. Like I don't like that. So yeah, I don't like Tank. No, I don't. Like once he did that shit and he was just blatant with it, I was like, yeah, man, because I always had a feeling about him, but I always was like, man, it ain't no way he gonna go out like that. It ain't no way. And the bad thing about it, right? Y'all are so brainwashed by this Gervonta Davis. This whole Gervonta Davis shit, y'all are so brainwashed by this shit. Is when I hear people talk about the situation of what he said, and I even talk to people privately, y'all don't want to admit it. It's either y'all say one or two things. You either say that you regurgitate what he said, that Shakur Stevenson ain't done nothing, he don't deserve what has he done. You'll use that, or you'll use, man, Tank just saying that he just promoting, he just making the fight bigger, man. Tank gonna fight them. Tank gonna. I'm like, this man set up, got fighting mad, told y'all what he was gonna do, was irritated about even getting asked about fighters like Shakur Stevenson, was fighting mad, biting blood out his bottom lip, and y'all still don't believe him. No, man, Tank, man, he just saying that, man. He just making the fight bigger. He just said that, man. Ain't no, man, Tank ain't scared of nothing, man. Tank gonna fight all them dudes. He ain't gonna retire, man. Tank fighting all them dudes, man. He ain't, man, Tank. Then he come out, call out Ryan Garcia again, and then call out Jake Paul. Man, Tank. I'm like, man, I'm done. I'm done. Yeah, Diana, it's unbelievable. It's unbelievable how these goofy weirdos act over Gervonta Davis. Like, it's just, I don't know, man. I'm lost for words. I'm lost for words. Are y'all that mesmerized by that man? Man, he ain't, man, Tank knocking everybody the fuck out. He still go, man, they ain't messing with Tank. And I'm like, bro, he just told y'all that he's not doing it. He just told y'all he's retiring, and he been said this, right? Now, not only that, Richardson Hitchens, he said Tank been told me this years ago. He said, I'm not surprised. He said, he just telling the whole world now. Tank told me years ago that, he was going to retire, at this age. He been telling me that. Well, no, he didn't say years ago. My bad. He said Tank had been telling me that. He had been telling me that he was going to retire. So he was like, I'm just surprised that he came out now and told the whole world. Man, he ain't. I'm like, man, here y'all go. I don't know what it's going to take. I don't know what it's going to take. Like, does he have to write each and every one of his fans an individual letter telling y'all, no, I'm not fighting Shakur Stevenson. No, I'm not going to fight Keyshawn Davis neither. No, I'm not fighting Devin Haney. And yes, I am trying to get a fight with Jake Paul and Ryan Garcia and then retire after Lamont Roach. Do he got to individually send y'all a letter one by one? Like, what the fuck? What does he got to do? Shit crazy. Man, shit crazy. Diana says, and I have zero problem with Tank waiting to retire and heal emotionally, but then, damn, Huston, go do it. Yeah, just do it. I'm not like, you know what I'm saying? I'm never going to support another fight that has Gervonta Davis in the title ever. And I'm not going to say I'm not going to watch it. I might watch it, but I sure ain't going to pay for it. because I've paid for his fights in the past. I'm not paying. I went to his last fight. I'm not supporting nothing that got him in the title. That shit gonna be on the fire stick from now on, unless he have a change of heart, you know, and step up and fight one of these dudes. And so, yeah, he called out Jake Paul. He been calling out Jake Paul. That's true for sure. Fight Money said the temper tantrum over Shakur question was the most pathetic thing I've seen in boxing, because he feels like that Shakur's a threat. He's been in the ring with Shakur. He knows that he's skilled, and he knows that Shakur is hell for him in the ring to beat. So he feels some type of way when people pressing him about fighting fighters like Shakur. He got, and it's not even only Shakur though, right? He said that little shit that he said about Keyshawn, because reason he said what he said about Keyshawn Davis, oh man, the young nigga Keyshawn doing more. He only said that is because they've been trying to put Keyshawn Davis and Shakur against each other, right? Y'all don't see what I see, man. They trying to make Keyshawn Davis and Shakur go against each other because everybody know that fighters got egos. So they trying to, you know, so he's using that shit in the public. He trying to get them to go against each other, right? He trying to get Shakur mad to say, well, man, Keyshawn ain't did this, but Shakur ain't that type of dude. So he trying to press buttons, right? But going back, right, a couple weeks before that, he got pissed off at Najee because Najee had Keyshawn Davis on his panel, and Keyshawn was calling out Tank. So he not only got mad at Shakur, he got mad at Keyshawn for calling him out too, and told Najee he was a bitch ass nigga and he wasn't getting another interview, all because Keyshawn called him out. So he only gets mad when somebody that he sees as a threat to him calls him out. Look how he used to act with Devin Haney. He used to do the same shit with Devin Haney. He don't get mad when it's a Ryan Garcia or it's a Pitbull Cruz, or when it was a George Kambosos or Vasil Lomachenko recently. He only gets mad when it's somebody that he sees that is a real threat to him. But see, people overlook all of that because it's Tank Davis. People think so highly of Tank, they overlook all of the sucker shit that he does. And y'all think that he's so confident. He's not as confident in himself that y'all are or pretend to be in him. He's not a confident man. He's not, bro. I can see through that shit. That's why he said, if y'all nobody want to talk about how he got up on the podium and he says, man, y'all just like, man, anybody can get hurt. He said, man, yeah, I can get knocked out. Yeah, I can get hurt. Anybody can get caught and get hurt. He said, man, y'all, it's y'all. He said, it's y'all. Y'all think I'm invincible. That's what he said. Y'all think I'm invincible. So he's telling y'all, like, y'all are really, Tank is not a dummy, man. He know that his fans are delusional. That's why he's telling y'all think I'm invincible. That's why he told y'all when y'all was talking about, oh man, Tank could go up to 147 and knock out Keith Thurman. He said, man, I'm not doing that. Like, man, y'all just think I can do anything. Like, man, y'all tripping. That's why he made a comment saying that he know all of this shit is fake. That's why he made that comment not too long ago on X. He said something like, basically, all of this shit is fake. Because basically what he's saying is he know that all of this shit, y'all acting like I'm invincible, right? If I fuck around and slip up and lose, y'all ain't finna ride with me like that. If I ever show that I'm not what they building me up trying to make it look like I am. Y'all ain't finna ride with me like that. Y'all gonna treat me just like y'all do any other fighter. That's what he was saying. But see, with Tank, y'all don't hold him accountable. So he's not gonna be put in a position to where he really got to show it, because y'all just, it's good enough. As long as he say he gonna knock everybody the fuck out, it's good enough with us. We don't need to see it because he said he gonna do it. Because he got a bunch of channels that meat mush that come on every day and tell y'all exactly what he said he's gonna do. And they're gonna defend him. They're not gonna hold him accountable. And it's gonna repeat over and over and over and over. So, man, I just feel like go on, do what the fuck you gonna do, man. Fight Ryan Garcia. You know, if you can get a fight with Jake Paul and get the fuck about the sport. Like, for real, man. Like, I'm really, I'm tired of fighters like him. Get up off the sport. You know what I'm saying? Because he telling y'all he's not in this to put on great fights. He's in this for himself. He don't give a fuck about y'all fans that be on here crying and defending this man every fucking day. He don't give a fuck about y'all. He don't give a damn about y'all. That's why he show up to the press conferences 4 hours late. He don't care about y'all. That man wouldn't even acknowledge y'all, you know, if y'all seen him. It's like, and y'all want to try to glorify everything that he do. Oh, man, he gave out turkeys. Okay, a lot of people gave out turkeys. Shout out to Brian Norman. Brian Norman gave out turkeys in his community, right? But the difference between Tank and Brian Norman was out there doing that shit himself with his people. He was actually out there on the block. Tank wasn't out there. He funded it. He wasn't out there with them people. But y'all want to, man, look at Tank, look at Tank. Do that for some of these other fighters that's actually out there on the pavement with the people. He wasn't out there with the people. So, yeah, I don't like dude because I don't like dudes like him in real life. And if you like him, I don't like you. I'm saying not if you like him. Like, you could be a fan of whoever you want to be a fan of. But I'm saying you still got to hold these fighters accountable. You still got to hold these fighters accountable. I don't mind if you like Tank because he is a talented fighter. And, you know, he has and he put on exciting fights. You think, you know, you like to see knockouts. That's cool. But don't defend no sucker shit and act like he ain't doing sucker shit. You know, because that let me know that you a sucker just like him. Diana said it's not in him anymore, and some refuse to see it. Yeah, but yeah, I feel you. And I agree with you, Diana, but it's mighty funny, right? This is my thing, Diana. It's mighty funny, right? When the walls are closing in to where even some people that's huge fans of him, the real boxing fans that's real huge fans of him, also the real boxing fans. I ain't talking about the meat mushers that's just gonna ride with anything Tank, right? Even some of those are like, you know what? He 30 years old now. He got to fight these guys. We ain't accepting no Lamont Roach. And so now that his back is against the wall, right? And people really starting to like, nah, we ain't going for that shit no more. All of a sudden, his heart ain't in it no more. All of a sudden, now it's time to retire. You see what I'm saying? Now you see where I'm getting at? Now it's like, okay, bro, you done fooled us for long enough. You know what I'm saying? We've been supporting you. You continue. Well, man, he gonna fight all these fighters. He gonna get to those guys. He gonna, you know, Leonard Ellaby Leonard Ellerbe blueprinted us, and he gonna get to those guys all the way up until his retirement day. Now you look up and you like, damn, he never got to those guys. He ain't never got to none of those guys. When his back is up against the wall, he's 30 years old. Now it's, man, I don't, man, F all this, man. I don't feel this. I don't want to do this no more. All right. I mean, I interviewed Leonard Ellerbe. I told people this before. I interviewed Leonard Ellerbe. This had to be like 2019. In 2019, I interviewed Leonard Ellerbe. And my question to Leonard was, when are we going to see Gervonta? Because, Tank came out with a big buzz behind Floyd Mayweather. They was telling us from way back then that he was the best and, he was this and that. And I asked Leonard Ellerbe way back then, when are we going to see Gervonta Davis get in the ring with the names like Vasil Lomachenko and those type of, big names? Tank don't need to worry about none of those guys. See, we got a blueprint for Tank, and Tank is doing his thing, and he don't need to worry about none of those guys. And that's what he told me. I could go find an interview way back in my archives. I'll repost that shit. So he's telling me that shit way back then. And now we're in 2025. You mean y'all still saying that shit? Make it make sense. We in 2025 and they still saying that shit? He done fooled everybody, man. Some of y'all believe, well, man, they got a blueprint for Tank. They got a plan for Tank. They had a great blueprint and a great plan for Tank. To fool all you, to fool everybody, to fool all y'all, and the next thing you know, he retired. And he done ran off. You know what I'm saying? He done robbed the bank with no mask on. And y'all still sitting, man, when Tank gonna win? Yeah, he gone now. Then he told, but Leonard said it. He got a plan. They got the blueprint. Now we know what that was. Diana said he let men rule him. Real talk. You never let men rule a gift God gave you. I'm just saying though, for a long time, I thought it was just him taking up the mentality of what he was taught. The Floyd Mayweather, the Leonard Ellerbe in his ear all the time. But honestly, that was his whole plan before he ever got with Floyd, because some of y'all remember me telling this story, and I did a video about it. Gervonta Davis, he did an interview, and he was sitting on the edge of the ring apron, right? This is when he was probably like, I think at the time he might have been like 7-0. He wasn't signed with Floyd Mayweather. And they asked him in that interview, why didn't he sign with Floyd Mayweather? Because I guess Floyd Mayweather was trying to get Gervonta Davis to sign with him even before he ever signed with Floyd Mayweather. But Tank signed with Al Heyman. Tank was signed to Al Heyman before he was signed to Floyd Mayweather. And then somehow Floyd Mayweather, got it. People don't know this shit. So they were asking him in the interview, why did he sign with Floyd? Like, they was asking, like, don't you look up to Floyd and this and that? He was like, nah, I didn't want to sign with Floyd. Like, I wanted to go with Al Heyman. Like, I thought it was smarter, for me to go with Al Heyman. And he says, do you look up to Floyd? And like asking him questions like that. And Tank was kind of like, nah. He was like, nah, like, like he was like, well, what's the biggest thing you took from Floyd? He was like, well, the biggest thing that I took from Floyd is how to map out your career. He said, how to map out your career and just basically get money. You know what I'm saying? That's the biggest thing. I how to pick, your fights and all of that. And shit, I'll go find the video. I had to go find it. I made a video about it because that was a young Gervonta Davis. And he said, and he was talking about Money Mayweather. When Money Mayweather started choosing the money fights and, choosing certain opponents and shit like that at the end of his career. He said that was the biggest thing that he learned from Floyd that he was going to take into, his career. And then he just started talking about how, he was 8-0 now or whatever his record was then, and how it was time for him to get to the money and he wanted to start making money. So he's always been like that throughout his whole career. He always been like that. That's why it was so easy for us to blame Floyd and blame Leonard and say, well, now it's because of Floyd and Leonard. Because if the fighter really want that smoke, Floyd and Leonard wouldn't have been able to do nothing. Tank would have been like, no, I'm fighting Lomachenko. That's who, or whoever it may be. But he wasn't. That's why it was so easy for him to sit back and say, I'm going to trust Floyd and Leonard. I know they're going to give me the right opponents. I know what they're going to do. So I'm going to sit back and I'm going to let them do what they do. I'm going to let them do what they do. I learned that when I seen that interview of Gervonta Davis before he was ever with Floyd Mayweather. He's the fight. He's in that age bracket to where he came up watching Money Mayweather. He didn't come up watching, he don't know the history of Floyd Mayweather from when he came out of the Olympics in 1996 all through the early 2000s, mid 2000s, what Floyd Mayweather was doing. A lot of these fighters, they don't know the history. They don't know that. So they just want to get to the bag. They don't want to fight the competition Floyd had to fight to get that. They don't want to go through that fire that Floyd had to go through. That's just what it is. But yeah, so that's my take on that. Y'all make sure y'all smash the like button. I'm hungry as hell. I need to get me something to eat. Legacy over currency says Tank represents the streets and he helps his people with money he earns from boxing to change lives. You don't know what he do. Just because you see Tank giving out just because not even himself giving out a turkey, just because you see Tank funding a turkey drive, don't mean that he do more than anybody else that got money. All that means is that y'all want to glorify it more because that's who y'all look at and like. A lot of people, a lot of these fighters do a lot of shit for their communities, but they don't broadcast it. A lot of them do a lot, but they just don't broadcast it. So, and Diana, I appreciate you, Queen. Salute in the super chat. Much blessings to you. So, we're not gonna act like he just does because I don't know. He could. I don't know what he do and what he don't, and you don't either. You know what they show. A lot of fighters do a lot. They just don't broadcast it. And he should, he should be the way his city stand behind him, and the way that he didn't rob boxing fans for years and years. Shit. But anyway, I appreciate y'all for tuning in. Make sure you smash the like button. If you ain't smashed the like button, salute to everybody that came through in the building. And y'all already know how I do. Tango talking that boxing again, and I'm gone.